I still see people showing up here, so we'll wait just a couple more minutes. We will assume that all of you already own the book. What book am I talking about? Principles of Bicycle Retailing for the Internet Age. If you haven't bought your copy of Principles of Bicycle Retailing for the Internet Age, run right out and get one. You can buy it at bikeshopowner.com. That is available right now. Anytime you want to jump over there, I'll let you leave the webinar to go do that if you feel so compelled. Anyway, but it's also being sold by J&B importers, so you can buy it from those folks. And the NBDA now has it on their website as well in their resources area, so you can pick up a copy of the book from either one of them. Why would you want such a book? Well, a lot of what you're going to hear about today is in the book. We will have some additional information that's not in the book that we'll talk about today, but a lot of it is in the book and or on the portal, which you get 6 months free in the portal when you buy the book. That's the end of that commercial. I guess we'll assume that most folks who are going to come today are now in attendance. So again, let me welcome you to our is this our third webinar to the bike shop industry? Mm-hmm. Okay, to our third webinar. And we have a whole series of webinars coming along this year. And we'll talk about the one that's coming up in 2 weeks in just a little while. So today we're going to be talking about emails. As Coach, the famous Bruins basketball coach, he's so famous I've all of a sudden forgotten his name. What's wrong with me? Well, I'll skip that introduction. Let me start with this introduction. What you see in front of you is an email. I know none of you have ever seen one before, but this is an email. This is an email newsletter or an email blast, if you will. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about how you, as a local bicycle retailer, can dramatically increase your business at an extremely low cost by building an email list and by sending out emails to that list on a regular basis with promotions, specials, events, etc. So we're going to talk about best practices for all of that, and that's going to be what you're going to be dealing with in the next roughly an hour. Sometimes I go to webinars online. Maybe you've done this too, and the presenter has about 15 minutes worth of presentation, about 30 minutes worth of commercials, and stretches the 15 minutes into 30 minutes worth of content. We will be doing the opposite today. I have no idea how we're going to cover all of this in an hour, and we will have a brief, very, very brief commercial later in the conversation. So let's get right to it. The very first thing you need to do in order to be able to send out emails is to build a list. And building a good list is something you definitely want to do as an owner. I have sold, as many of you know, I sold my manufacturing business, AC International, about 4.5 years ago. When I sold AC International, as much as I had massive amounts of equipment to make Mr. Tuffy and California Springs water bottles, etc., as much as I had all these employees, as much as I had all these brands that were excellent, the person who bought it from me was most interested in my list and in my website. That's what they were willing to pay the big bucks for. So believe me when I say, developing this email list has consequences far beyond your ability to use it right now to improve your business. It is actually something that will make your business more valuable if you should choose to sell it. So how do we build that list? How do we get 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 names on a local bike shop list? Well, the way you do that is by asking for emails. I'm sorry if it's so obvious, but we will talk about how that takes place. Let me start with the best example I've ever seen, and that is, have you all been to a Radio Shack? I'm assuming that most of you have walked into a Radio Shack at some point along the line in order to buy some little part from Radio Shack. And my typical trip to a Radio Shack results in a purchase of maybe $5, $10, $12. It doesn't matter how small my purchase is. When I get to the front counter, they want to know my name, my address, my phone number, my number of children, my number of grandchildren. I mean, they want everything from me. They get all this information. And believe me, Radio Shack has used that to their advantage. They have the second largest chain of retail locations in the country after McDonald's. They used those demographics in order to decide where to put new shops, in order to send out email blasts, etc. So what did they do? They just asked me for the information. Do they get squeamish and upset and unhappy when I say no? No, they just say, really, we really love to have this information. And they ask every single time. So I'm saying to you, as you, the owner, or as you, the manager of your employees, you need to make the acquisition of these emails an important part of your business strategy. Your employees, your salespeople need to know that you want these emails. You need to make it clear to them that this is going to be how they're going to be judged as part of their job. I know somebody that works for Victoria's Secret. They are judged by the number of credit cards that they open up per day. You can do the same thing with your employees. They can be judged. Do they get 2 emails a day, 3 emails a day, 5 emails a day, 10 emails a day? Keep track. I'm working with a car dealership up in Seattle right now. They judge their employees based on the number of reviews that those employees get on Google Places and on Yelp. So make it clear to your employees they will be judged. You can go further than that. You can give a promotion. So it could be a promotion to the employees. Maybe you pay $1 a piece for these emails. They keep their own sheet. They turn in their sheet at the end of the day or the week, and they get paid a bonus of $1 or $2 per name. Is it worth $1 or $2 a name? You betcha. You want as many of these names as you can possibly compile. So make it important, make it clear to your people that you want to collect as many emails as you possibly can. Now, you want to make it a little easier on the employees? We'll give the consumer some kind of a promotion. I have one bicycle retailer who's a client of mine who gives away a water bottle and a free inner tube when somebody signs up for an email. So that's about a $4 cost to him. He's willing to pay $4 in order to get that email. And guess what? He has 4,000 emails now in his database. So maybe you want to do a promotion with the consumer. Maybe you want to do a promotion with your employees. Maybe you even want to do both. But the most critical thing here is to make sure that everybody knows it's important to you. You really need this information. Now, some people are going to say no. And as soon as they say no to your request, some of your employees, maybe even you, are going to be all nervous about asking again. Oh, they said no, nobody wants to give their email anymore. And all of a sudden you have this negative attitude about getting the emails. Believe me, it's just like selling anything else. Just tell them why you want it. You want to be able to send them out some coupons, some promotions, some information about events that are upcoming in the store, some rides, some things that you're doing. You're going to only send it out when there's something important to say. And most people say, oh, sure, if that's what you want it for, great, let's go. The other thing is to not even ask. So you're selling a bike. I know when you sell a bike that you take the name and the address and the phone number. So just continue on, email. So you're writing these things down or you're asking the client to write these things down. Make sure everything is legible. Make sure it's legible. Maybe you should write it down, but make sure it's legible. I have another client of mine right now that my son transcribes their email information into the database, and only about 80% are legible. So we lose 20% of those valuable emails. Make sure they're legible. Okay, so you're going to want to encourage your employees, encourage yourself if you're up there at the front and you're doing the sales clerking. You collect emails, get your people to collect emails. Everybody's got to be on the job. Use promotions. Make a clear statement at the cash counter that you want to collect these emails. Have the materials that they need in order to collect the emails. Do all of this, and you should collect emails. I'm saying the average bike shop probably has about 20 to 30 people a day coming in. What if we got half of those? Okay, what if we got half of those people to sign up with emails? Pretty soon you would have a lot. Okay, that's what you're going to do in the store. The second thing you're going to do is do you're going to set up your website to receive emails as well. Now, this is by far my favorite way to do it. You'll notice over on the left-hand side here of this website, you have email inquiries. And over on the right-hand side, you have sign up to receive coupons. Both of these, when clicked on, they result in a slightly different form. So this one asks for name, email address, day, phone, evening, phone, and comments. And the other one takes you into the constant contact world. They just put in their email at that point, and you are instantly going to constant contact. But guess what? Both of them result in the same thing. Both of them result in you collecting an email. So these are two tabs I highly recommend that you put on your website. This works way better than the little collection of devices that we commonly use in the body of the website. I would highly recommend these tabs. These tabs happen to be floating tabs, so they're always visible as you move down the website. So this is a great way to get emails. Where else are you going to collect emails? Well, anywhere that you can have an email collection facility. So Facebook, Twitter, Blogger, or if you're using TypePad or some other kind of blog, just go ahead and ask for emails in all those locations. Even on your YouTube videos, you can ask people to send you the email. Ashley, on the YouTube channel, is there a place for email collection or not?
I don't believe so, no. But company information is there, and we put on the company email address, so
okay,
they'd have
nothing on the channel yet. I'm sure eventually they'll have a place on the channel. Right. Okay. So, by the way, that's Ashley Lovett. She's my assistant and a great one at that. And some of you may have contact with her over time. So she's actually the person who does the email blasting, creates the emails for our clients. And so the emails that you'll be seeing here, most of those she did create. Okay, let's go back to emails here. So you're going to collect emails in the store. You're going to collect emails on your website. You're going to collect them on other media, and that you're going to collect them at events. So if you're doing an event, if you're going to some kind of a local community event, you're going to take along some kind of a card for people to fill out so that they can leave their name, address, etc., but also, and most importantly, the email. Okay, so those are the ways that you're going to collect emails. I would estimate that with a decent effort, you will collect about 1,000 emails a year. That's 1,000 emails a year. If I'd come to you 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and I had said to you, you will be able to send a snail mail, to 1,000 of your clients for free, or almost free, you would have done it, right? Well, guess what? Now you can send 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 or 4,000 or more emails to your clients for free, and you can do it. You can do it often. You can do it once a month, twice a month, or more. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay, so the next step in this process, you're collecting the names. You got that process going on. Now you need a constant contact account. Okay, I'm going to be just real straightforward with you right here. I am a constant contact. I forget what the name of it is. I make a little money off of this. There are other systems besides Constant Contact. We use Constant Contact 100% because they are so far ahead of the other systems in terms of the quality of what they do and the capabilities that they provide. Their customer service is amazing. So over time, we looked at other solutions. We use Constant Contact to send out our emails. Constant Contact will, and all of the systems, will let you set up a database on their system so that you can send from that database. You can break that database into sections. So if you want to send out something different to road bike people compared to mountain bike people, compared to fixie bike people, you can have different databases. If you've got clubs, you can have different databases for the different clubs so that you only email to the club, or you only email to a group of riders that you might have going out on Saturday morning. So you can break down these databases any way you want. And then Constant Contact provides you with free templates. So what you're seeing in front of you here on this Montrose Bike Shop newsletter, this is a template that Ashley added their content up here, their logo. She added a headline on it, and then the rest of it is all templated here. And you don't have to have clouds in the background. You can have something else. Now you can also, with Constant Contact, and I'm sure some of the others, you can create an HTML site that is your own design. If you have that capability, or you have somebody on staff who does that. So that's something you might want to consider, is creating your own HTML site one time. I think they charge $200 or $300 to put that up, and then you've got that site ready to go. But they have beautiful templates, and the templates work just fine. Constant Contact costs you actually zero when you start out. So when you set up your account, you just go to this website right here, write that down. You go to that website. That will be a website that's associated with me. So I will make something like $2 a month off of you. I'm setting this up as my retirement plan. So I make $2 or $3 a month if you sign up from your activity. So I just appreciate it if you would go, instead of going directly to Constant Contact, if you can go to that website, that will be, click it into my management system, and I'll get a couple of bucks. So just to let you know that. So Constant Contact, when you go in and sign up, initially it's free. If you have 99 names or less in the database, and and it's free for 90 days. After 90 days, it starts out at $15 a month, but that only allows you 5 pictures. I almost always just start my clients out at $20 a month. Now you can do it for 6 months in advance or something, or a year in advance. You can pay in advance, and the price drops down. So there's a number of things you can do to keep that cost even lower. But even if you have over 500 names or 1,000 names, I think it's like $30 a month for up to 1,000 names. And then I think maybe $50 a month up to 5,000 names. But I'm a little rough on those numbers. But ballpark, that's what's going to cost you to have the Constant Contact account. The other thing that happens with Constant Contact is you get analytics. So after you send out the email blast, you can go back in, you can find out how many people opened the email. You can actually find out which people opened the email. You can find out how many people click through to your website, or click through to a YouTube video, or click through to your offer. And you can find out what percentage of the people did that and which offers they clicked through to. You can find out if people opted out. You can find out if there was bounces. So all of this analytical information becomes available to you as a result of using Constant Contact. So that's the second thing that I would recommend that you do. Oh, also Constant Contact, I forgot the big one. Constant Contact has little setups for you to use to collect emails on your website, on your blog, etc. So these are those little sign up here things that you see, the little widgets that you see on websites and whatnot to sign up or to get email information from us here. That's all available on Constant Contact. They teach you how to do it. Once you sign up on Constant Contact, they have beautiful, fantastic little YouTube videos or little videos that teach you how to use them, how to maximize the advantages of Constant Contact. And they just do a great job on all that stuff, which is, again, why we only use Constant Contact. So that's Constant Contact. The next thing we want to talk about today as we rush along. Oh, by the way, Ashley, maybe we take a break. Is there any questions out there?
No questions. No.
No questions. Okay. Feel free. If you have a question, raise your hand or just type a question into the question box, and Ashley will make sure I get it. Okay. Okay, now you want to create some emails. All right, so you've got a list, 99 people, 101, 200, 500, whatever. Now you want to start creating some emails that you're going to send out to your list. What do you want to do? Where are you going to get the content? How are you going to decide what to put up on this email? I like to look at an email blast as being like the daily newspaper. So when I was a kid and I wanted to get the daily newspaper, I was going out there because I wanted the comics. So I would run out there. I'd be the first one out there. I'd get that daily newspaper. I'd bring it back in. I'd grab the comics. I'd read them. Now, as I'm putting the newspaper on the table, my dad's grabbing it because he wants to see the news. My brother, this is not true because he wasn't an athlete, but let's say my brother, maybe he wanted the sports section. Anyway, everybody's got a different part of the newspaper that they're excited about. Well, on an email blast to your client list, what you want to do is take into consideration that all of the people on your list have different needs, they have different wants, they have different things they're interested in. So I like to see every email have 4 different pieces or types of content. One would be, let's see on Montrose here, let's scroll down a little bit. Here, they're talking about a new ride that they've got going out, okay? So this is an event-based thing. This is something social, something that's going to get people involved, something that they can get out and do. Okay, now we come down here, and here's some local news about a really bad thorn that really creates some problems for riders with regard to getting some bad itch and also potentially for causing some flats. So they wrote a nice little article about this thorn bush out there. Here's some more industry news about the track nationals that are coming up. Here's a little quick article about the Tour de France back in October. So some industry news, some personal news, some local news, some stuff that people will be interested in seeing that doesn't necessarily just talk about something that you're selling. I always like to see, obviously we want to sell some stuff. So here's some closeouts. We created this email at the end of the year when they were starting to get interested in closing out the 2009s, and they still had a few 2008s and 7s. They had even one 2010 they wanted to close out. So we threw some closeouts up. So the content that you will get should be some local stuff, some industry stuff, maybe some new product stuff. You've learned about some new product that you're excited about. You can go on the websites of your suppliers and see what they're talking about, what kind of things that they have articles about. You can also go on to blogs that you really like that are in the industry. We like to, a lot of our clients throw up a monthly deal. So let's look at, this is in a home mortgage business, but in this particular email, we always send out a cute cat and a cute cat video of the month. That doesn't have anything to do with mortgages, but every month the customer knows they're going to get a cute cat picture, and they're also going to get a great cat video if they want to go look at a great cat video. So we try to make these as funny as we possibly can. All of a sudden, I got people opening up his email just so they can see the cute cat and just so they can see the cute cat video. But in the meantime, they're getting an advertisement right below that cute cat video and that cute cat about what my client does, reminding them that they need a refinance or a second trust deed or anything, they can call Bill to get their to get that done. Let's look at Ontario Bakery here. On Ontario Bakery, we do a best wedding cake and best birthday cake of the month, and then we have a click here for the full gallery. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're in the fixie business, fixie galleries go nuts. If you put up a fixie gallery or a YouTube video with a nice long string of different fixie bikes, people watch those. They are very, very successful at getting people to take a look. So you could have the best fixie build of the month, or the best fixie that somebody else built for the month, and then you could have a gallery that they would click to. So these are all things to get involvement, but also to get people to come back month after month or time after time to look at your emails, things that create excitement and interest. If you have something that you're selling, so these guys had a gingerbread house thing that they were doing, and they had some new pops here, but at the bottom of the page, not on this one. Let's see. Let me try another one here. Yeah, let's see if did Bill do this. We typically will put none there. Montrose. We will typically put some kind of a coupon. No, none of them. Okay. We commonly put a coupon at the bottom of the page so that we can reinforce the item that we're talking about at the top of the page, whatever it is that we have for sale, we'll have a coupon. And that coupon also helps you because now you get a count. You get to see how many people actually turned in the coupon. And that gives you some idea of what kind of action people are taking. You get the action of them opening, then the action of them clicking through to something that you've talked about. You have an action of them potentially calling you. You have the action of them coming in and bringing a coupon or coming in and buying something. So if you can track those, you'll find out just how good your results are, and you can change up your future emails based on how good the tracking is coming in. Okay, so in our industry, if you're looking for the best of, what about the best technical mountain bike ride YouTube video? What about the best new bikes of the year? What about the best riding tip of the month? What about a best road repair tip of the month? So there's a bunch of things you can do like that. What will people find exciting? The rule is, and this is an important rule, every email that you send out needs to be delightful. You need it to be delightful because if you send out emails that are not delightful, people will stop opening them. The national average on opening emails for Constant Contact is 20%. Now you say, oh, only 20%. You know what? 20%. If you send out 4,000 emails and 20% open them, 800 people just got your message. So 20% is their national average. We average around 33% on ours. Some of them a little lower, some of them a little higher, but about 30 to 35% of the emails that we send out get open. So that's a great number to shoot for. I rarely see it any higher than 30 to 35%, but that's a real good number. So let's see. How do you create high opening rates? Okay, well, the high opening rate is basically a function of the subject line. Okay, so right here we've got the subject line. And Ashley and I are always dealing with the subject line. Hi, Ashley.
Yes, we are.
We're always trying to figure out how can we do a great subject line so that people will be intrigued to open. So August specials from Montrose Bike. I mean, that's one way to do it. Bill Raymond, we've established over 2 years now that it's the month's news from Bill Raymond. Now that you say, well, that might be kind of a boring thing, but the reality is his clients now expect it. That's what they're expecting to see. I would not today start out with December news from your bike shop or January news or February news. I was trying to come up with something more fun. Gingerbread house parties, that's got to be a good one. And it was. It got a very high opening rate. So try to come up with something clever, something intriguing, something compelling that will cause the person to open up. Don't give away your special in the subject line. Don't say 10% off on all bikes. Well, now they got no reason to open it. They already know what it is. Okay? Say massive closeout special. Let them open it up to find out what that really means. Okay? So come up with clever things. A really good one is like we talked about a minute ago. If you're going to have a running joke, the best cat video of the month or the best technical mountain bike ride of the month, well, that could be the headline. It could be the best technical mountain bike ride number 3, or our hot tip number 3 on road repairs. So if you show a numerical sequence, it tells people that you've been doing this for a while and that they can expect more in the future. And so it's kind of like a serial. You get them involved, you get them interested, and you're going to get a higher opening rate. So you want a great subject line. You want to do this regularly. If you send out an email today and you send out another one March 1st and you send out another one June 15th, that's not regular. And people, every time they see it, it's going to be something completely new that they may or may not be interested in. You want to send out on a regular basis. I recommend on the bike shops a minimum of 1 per month. I like to get in the habit of sending it out at the same time every month. So it could be the 1st, it could be the 10th, but sending it out at the same time every month. I recommend that you send it out on Monday afternoon or Tuesday morning. Those are the two best opening times. Um, so send out on a regular basis at least once a month. I have, and I know of other bike shops that are not my clients, who send out 3 to 4 these emails a month. If you're going to send out 3 to 4 emails a month, they all have to be delightful. They all have to be compelling. Do they all have to have 4 things? Do they all have to have a personal section and an industry special? No. When you're sending out that many, sometimes it's just a reminder about the ride, or it's a reminder about the clinic, or it's a quick sale for this weekend. So you can do that, but make sure that most of what you send out has a compelling set of things that the people are going to see when they open it up, like we've talked about before, like 4 things, 4 different things that'll be attractive to 4 different people. I'll just take a breath right now and ask Ashley if there's any questions out there.
There was one question. I did try and answer it, but it was basically asking whether there's any free email interfaces out there that are good to use other than Constant Contact, which is a paid one.
And I guess there are some free ones out there. Do you know a particular one that you would recommend?
Do I?
Yeah.
No. I mean, what I pretty much answered was that just the interfaces are so poor and the quality is, nothing comparable to a paid service. So I pretty much recommend that you go with one of these paid services.
Yeah, Constant Contact is so far ahead on this. They just have so much more stuff than anybody else out there, even the other paid ones. And at $15 to $30 a month, it's just, it's what, give up 4 Starbucks and you're paid. I know you don't give up your Starbucks. Anyway, I just, obviously I make a couple bucks off of it. It has nothing to do with the couple bucks I make. It's just the best system out there. Let me just say for a minute, just a brief interlude here while I catch my breath. We do here at bikeshopowners.com, we have the portal, we have the book. If you haven't bought the book, if you're not involved in the portal, the massive amounts of information that are already in the portal, and we're putting new information in every month. I just did a series of interviews, video interviews with Alan Goldsmith, the past owner of the Bikeology and Supergo chains, and who had the national mail order business that he eventually sold to Performance. I just did about an hour of interviews with him. There'll be a number of these interviews that will be in the portal, and those should be up over the next week or two. The way that you get into the portal is by the book. If you haven't bought the book, you can buy Principles of Bicycle Retailing for the Internet Age at bikeshopowners.com. You can buy it at mbda.com, or you can buy it through J&B. I shipped off their first shipment today, so they should have it by tomorrow. So you are able to buy Principles of Bicycle Retailing, the 4th edition, by the way. That's my 4th version, and it's 300 pages long. It has over 100 pages just on internet, and of course, then it has access to the portal, which gives you truly a massive, massive amount of information in the portal for 6 months for free. Okay. By the way, let me just mention also really, really quickly, I also run a company called Randy Kirk and Associates. We are a marketing consulting firm. We help people like Bill Raymond Home Mortgages, Ontario Bakery, Montrose Bike Shop. We help these people to grow their businesses. Let me just say straight out so that you know whether it's even something you can consider. Our minimum charge is $750 a month. 80% of our clients pay $750 a month. Some pay a little bit more, but we give a tremendous amount of work, including creating your email blasts for you, helping you to build your list. But that's just the kind of the tip of the iceberg of what we do. We do a ton of additional things, and if you're interested, email me at randykirk77@gmail. Call me anytime, 310-910-1848, and we can talk about setting you up as a client for marketing consulting. Okay, that's enough commercials. Let's get back to work here. All right. What creates high click-through rates? We talked about that just a little bit. Let me just re-emphasize the things that really work on an email blast to get people to click through to something else are coupons, where you make it clear that they must present the coupon. Okay, you want to make it clear they must download, print out, and bring in the coupon in order to get the coupon's value. That will cause a click-through. And YouTube videos create high click-through rates. The special cool thing of the month, like a special YouTube video or a special picture or a special tip or something like that, create good click-throughs. You can also start a story. You can start a story about some great race event in your area and have that continue on your blog. And so they have to go to the blog to see the rest of it. That can help you with click-through rates. Now, why do you care about click-through rates? Because when somebody clicks through, it shows they're actively involved in the email. It shows that they're taking action. It shows that they are very interested in what you're doing on the email. And commonly, you can do some more advertising in the place that they click through. So if they're clicking through your blog, you can have more advertising there. If they're clicking through to a coupon, you could have more advertising on that page where the coupon is downloadable. So click-throughs help you to find out how well you're doing in terms of involving the client in your email blast. Okay, what kind of content results in action? Because what you really want at the end of the day is you want people to take action. A lot of people call me and they're like, Randy, I'm not at the top of the page under Bike Shop Culver City or Bike Shop Old Wine, Iowa, and I really need to get my shop up to the top of the list. And I asked them, I said, well, what's more important, getting your shop up to the top of the rankings on Google or getting your phone to ring and your door to swing? Everybody understands that it doesn't matter what your advertising looks like or where it's showing up or how well you're doing in your rankings unless somebody calls you. So as a marketing person, yeah, I do SEO. Yeah, I do website development. Yeah, I do blog development. Yeah, I do social media. Yeah, I do email blasting. But if all of this stuff looks good and goes out to thousands of people, but nobody takes action, I haven't done my job. So I always look at every single media that I use, and I want to know what kind of action am I going to get people to take. Okay, so you want them to take action. The things that get people to take action are to provide fun or valuable events. Okay, a couple of my shops are now doing diva nights. They're getting lots of women in for these diva nights, and they're doing things like teaching writing skills or teaching easy repair and maintenance tips. They're talking about clothing. They'll do a little. They'll bring in somebody to do a little bit of a style show. Nutrition, weight loss. These diva meetings are very successful. So that would be one possible thing that you could be talking about there. But it could be a ride. It could be an in-store event that's not just for women, it's for guys too. It could be a couples night. I mean, there's a million things that you can do event-wise in your store that's going to attract attention. And when you put those on your email newsletter, they are very likely to create action. They're going to create people coming to the event. They're going to create people calling and asking about the event. Outstanding sales. Okay, we have some great closeouts here on this particular one. If we go to I can show you a whole bunch of these, but I won't do that for now. If you got a great sale, okay, we're all following Groupon and social coupon and all these things. All these guys doing these coupons now. What are the deals that they're giving? They're giving 50% off. Wow, 50% off. Sheesh, that's a lot of money. How can I afford to give 50% off? Well, if you use Groupon, you not only get 50% off, but then you give them another 50% of the difference. So you got an item that you sell for $10. You're going to sell it for $5. You're going to give Groupon $2.50. You're only going to end up with $2.50 in your pocket, and you probably paid $4.95 for it. So, by the way, Groupon works. And if you ever want to know how to make Groupon successful in your store, I can help you with that. But I'm saying you can do your own Groupon without them by putting a 50% off item in your email blast. And can you imagine what the higher rate of return is going to be for you in terms of people walking in the store on a 50 off promotion as opposed to a 10% off or a 20% off promotion? So have really, really exciting promotions, something in there that's really going to catch fire. You guys have obviously been doing this for a while, so you know that there's probably a supplier right now that's having a promotion or a special that you can take advantage of to get your costs down to where even at 50% off, you would still have some margin left. So, or you talk to the supplier when they're in, hey, is there anything I can buy right now? I want to buy, 24 of them and I want to run a promotion. I'm going to mention your name in the email. What can we do so that I can still make money at 50% off? So work it. Those kind of coupons are going to get you some results. Have calls to action throughout the site. Have things that you want people to do. You want them to call, you want them to pick up the phone, you want them to come in, you want them to send you an email. Have calls to action so that people know what they're supposed to do. People want to know, okay, what do I do next? All right. How do you tie in your content? How do you tie in your email with your social media effort? Let me let that one just hang right out there in the atmosphere. Ashley, will I ask if there's any questions real quick?
No questions so far.
No questions. Okay, be sure to ask your questions if you've got them. Okay, notice here across the top we've got links. Down here we've got Montro's YouTube channel link. Down here we've got a link to the blog, to the website, to Meetup, to the YouTube channel again, to Twitter. Join our list in case they're getting it as a forward. So what we're doing is we're giving them lots of ways that they can become more involved in the shop. Okay? So when you're setting up your email blasts, set up lots and lots of ways for them to join your other social media. Okay? So all of these should be linked. They should be talked about. Why should they do it? What is going to be there when they get there that's going to make it exciting? So have lots of links on every single email you set up. A lot of this stuff is here every month. We set this up one time right here under Quick Links. We don't have to set it up ever again. So every time you do it, you're going back to the same template, and that content is there every month. Use icons. Use these icons, okay? They're going to make it much more effective when you use the icons. Then the second thing is you're going to want to use your other social media to get people to sign up on the email. So, for instance, there's on Facebook, you can set up a page. Ashley, help me with the name of that page.
It's like a static page. I don't remember exactly what you're talking about.
The page where they have to go through that page in order to get onto Facebook, onto your Facebook page.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it, but it's basically sort of a static page that in order for them to view and like your page, they have to click through to it.
Right. So this page, there's a name for it. It's an industry technical name that we're forgetting right now. But basically, you set this up so that when somebody goes to your page to like your page, they have to drop their email in order to proceed. That's really easy to set up. Plenty of places online that will teach you how to do that. Probably we have an article about it in the portal. I don't remember right now, but we probably do. So that's another way to get emails is on their way to Facebook, but you can also set it up in your blog and other places where people have to drop their email or can drop their email while they're in your social media areas. Okay, moving on because we're running out of time here as usual. How to analyze your results. I mentioned earlier that in analyzing your results, we have the analytics on Constant Contact. They will tell you how many people open. You want to shoot for more than 20%. If you're getting less than 20%, you need to change something dramatically. If you're getting 25 to 30%, congratulations. If you're getting over that, very well done. It will tell you how many people took action If you're only getting one or two actions, you need to make the actions more compelling. It will give you bounces. It will tell you which ones bounced. That means that the email went out, but the client never even saw it because there was something wrong with it. So you can actually, if you care and you want to go and get those emails corrected, you can look at those bounces and you can find the person's phone number or find other information you might have on that person, give them a call and say, hey, you know what? There's something wrong with the email you gave us. If you would like to receive this information, let's get the email straight. Or you might look at the bounced email address and you might right away see where the error is. So just a quick check sometimes will show you that something, the .com was left off or there's a letter missing. So the bounces will give you that information. You'll also have anybody that opts out or that claims that you're sending spam. Okay, spam, don't do it. Everybody that you send an email out to should be somebody who has agreed to receive an email. Don't buy lists. Constant Contact doesn't allow you to use lists anyway. So you have to use legitimate people that you have signed up or that signed up with you at some time that you're going to mail out to. The kind of list that would be okay, let's say that you bought another bike shop and they have a list. Well, you can use that list because it's already been determined that they are okay with receiving emails. But do not send out emails to people that are not okay for two reasons. Number one, it's just inappropriate. But number two, if you have too many spam results, Constant Contact will shut your account down. So only send to people who have opted in. You'll still get the occasional person who will claim spam, but it should be like less than one every time you send something out. Okay. How often should you send out an email? We've talked about a minimum of once a month. What's the maximum? I would say the maximum is 4 times a month. What's a good number for a bike shop? Somewhere in between that. If you've got a pretty active bike shop and you've got people that can handle this, sending out 4 emails a month is not a problem. So a lot of people say, oh, I don't like getting all these emails. I don't like getting a lot of emails from people that I don't want to get emails from either. But I don't mind at all getting emails from my Mac store. Okay, I'm a Mac guy. I have every Mac product that there is, and I like getting all that new technical stuff and all the sales and all the new stuff. I want to know about it right now. So I don't mind at all getting an email every other day from my local Mac store. But I would mind getting it from, I get one from a limousine service. I have no idea how I got on his list. I don't ever open it. I'm not interested. I could care less. So your clients are fans, okay? You're in an industry where your client is a fan. So as a fan, they're going to be much more likely to be like me with the Mac. They're going to be interested if you send out interesting stuff. So it's okay to send out 4 a month. I don't think I'd go over 4. I wouldn't do less than 1. If it's 2 or 3, that's great, and you will see results. I just believe me, we know that this is an extremely high result effort that you can involve yourself in. How do you set up? Oh, okay. Constant Contact also allows you to set up a series of emails. I will be honest with you right now, I could never use this as much as I think I've never learned how it actually works. It's just I've been lazy. Okay, I'm just being honest. What happens is you can set up the 5 emails in advance that will go out on a regular basis to a new listing. So you can have it set up to where new people are coming in, and an email automatically goes out as soon as that email comes into the Constant Contact system. An email goes out thanking them, maybe it gives them a coupon, lets them know that you're delighted to have them as a client, blah, 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 blah. Maybe it's got some information on there that's valuable. Now, a week later, you can have another email that goes out. Maybe this is automatic, and maybe this email asks them, would they be willing to do a review on Google Places or Yelp? It could be something else. It could be another coupon offer. Okay, now maybe we have another email that automatically goes out 3 weeks later, and this one reminds them that they need to come in to have their cables tightened and their bicycle gone over a quick tune-up. as part of the deal that you made with them when they were in. Maybe it's got another coupon associated with it. So you can set up a series of emails that go out to a new client over a certain number of days or weeks, and you don't have to touch it. It just all happens automatically. It's a great thing to use. Okay, I'm admitting I haven't done it yet, but it's a great thing to use nevertheless. Okay, what not to do? Listen, look at that. We're coming down to the last few minutes here, and I'm actually maybe going to finish most of this. Let me stop for a second again and ask if there's any questions.
No questions. You must be doing a thorough job.
No questions. Okay, come on, guys. You're down to your last 10 minutes to ask your questions. So put those questions up real quick. Okay, what are some of the things you do not want to do? I bet you if I asked you all, you'd all raise your hand. You'd already know the first answer. Do not send out any boring emails. No boring emails. Every email should be compelling. Every email should be delightful. Every email should have something valuable to say. Remember when I said you should send out at least once a month? If you're getting down to the beginning of the time that you normally send it out, okay, let's say you always send it out on the 1st. It's the 30th. You haven't done it yet. This is the 31st. You haven't done it yet. Don't throw up something awful just so that you can send something out on the 1st. Wait until the 5th. Much better to send it out late than to send out something boring. Every email should be compelling and delightful. Make sure that that's a part of what you do. Number 2, we just talked about it. Do not send out unsolicited emails. It's a huge no-no. You don't want to lose your account, and you don't want people to be mad at you. And number 3 is don't send out, even if you've got a delightful email, don't send it out with a boring email subject line. Make sure that those subject lines are great. Think about the subject line. Spend 10 minutes thinking about the subject line. Have a brainstorming session with your employees. Hey, what should we do for a subject line this month? Have brainstorming sessions with them anyway about the content. Maybe you've got somebody on staff who's a really good writer, or somebody who's got some graphic arts talents that could help you to make these emails even more delightful. Let's say for fun, though, let's say that in your store, you don't have anybody that can write. You don't have anybody that has graphic arts capability. You don't have anybody that really likes to set this kind of stuff up on website templated sites because they find it frustrating and difficult. Well, there are tons of people that will create emails for you as long as you can provide them with the content. Obviously, you've got to provide them with sale information. You've got to provide them with some stuff to write about. But there are people that will write the content. There are people that will create the graphics. There are people that will set up the whole email. And that includes my company, Randy Kirk and Associates. However, if you don't want everything, you don't need all the stuff that we do, you just need somebody to do your email blast for you, you could probably find a 12-year-old at the local junior high that could do it for you. I'm honest, I'm sincere. Usually the 12-year-olds and the 13 and 14, 15-year-olds know more about this stuff than us old fogies. So finding a young person who loves the internet, who loves to play with this stuff, who has a little bit of graphics capability, who can write could write decently. You may be able to get an email like this, the one that you're looking at here. You might be able to get somebody to put this together for $25 or $35. A more realistic price would be $90. Okay, so let's say you're doing 2 of these a month. That's $180. Let's say you pay somebody $90 a time. So you're paying $180 a month to get 2 of these sent out. And then in addition to that, you're going to pay $20 or $25 to the Constant Contact folks. Okay, so you've got a $200 investment to send out to, again, depending on your list, 500 or 1,000 or 2,000 people. Imagine what that would cost you if you were creating a mailing piece. Imagine how much that would cost you. It would cost you $200 to create the content, and way more than $200 to print it, fold it, put it together, put a stamp on it, mail it. So this is a very high return on investment opportunity for you. You're putting very little money into it, getting an extremely high rate of return. Just a very small commercial. You can imagine that some of our clients, like that bakery, is sending out 4 emails this month. We're sending out 4 emails for them. We're creating all the content. We're doing all the work for them. and that's only a piece of what we do for them for $7.50 a month. So instead of paying a kid $30 or a better person $90 a piece, they're paying us $7.50 a month. They're getting as many email blasts a month as they want. They're getting YouTube videos. They're getting help with their Google Places and their blog and their Facebook. They're getting recommendations with regard to how to sell in the store. They're getting recommendations on how to change their signage, what kind of new products to bring on, just on and on and on. We provide press releases, online press releases, offline press releases. So we have a huge amount of work for $750 a month, but if all you need is somebody to put together your email blast, you can probably get that done for between $30 and $90 a time using somebody local. Try Craigslist, try the Odesk, odesk.com. Those are other places that you can find people to do this kind of work and to do it very inexpensively. Okay, last chance for questions.
We had one. It was about the automated email service that you mentioned that Constant Contact provides, and they were just wondering if we knew where to find that on the Constant Contact website. And
you mean the analytics?
No, you know how you can set up
automated
emails.
the 5-time thing. I don't actually, but if you'll get them if you'll get their email, yeah. I'm sure you can look it up after and send them a quick email.
Yes, of course. I mentioned that as you mentioned before, the customer service people at Constant Contact are awesome too. So you can even use the chat feature and they'll answer you right away.
Oh yeah, I mean every time I've called Constant Contact, they've almost always picked up immediately. Sometimes I've been on hold for 30 seconds. If it's going to be a longer hold, they'll tell you it's like 2 minutes or whatever, but it's never been a long time. I think one time I called them and they said they were jammed. Could I use the chat room instead? And I called back in 2 minutes and I got right through. So they're delightful, well-trained, great customer service. Can't say enough about how helpful they are. Any more questions out there?
No more questions.
So there's 15 of you left out there still listening. If any of you haven't bought the book, what are you going to do next? Need to go out there and buy the book and get your access to the portal. And we didn't talk about next month. I mean, the next email blast. The next webinar. Ashley, is that the one on managing your Salesforce?
I believe so. Yeah.
I think the next one in 2 weeks from today is managing your Salesforce. And so we'll be talking about how to hire salespeople. We'll be talking about how to fire salespeople. We'll be talking about how to train salespeople. We'll be talking about how to motivate them, how to not demotivate them. We'll be talking about how to turn them into superstars. At the end of the day, a huge piece of your success in your store is going to be dependent upon how good your salespeople are. That's what we're going to talk about next time in 2 weeks from today. You can sign up now for the next one, and we'll look forward to seeing some of you back in 2 weeks. Thank you all for visiting, and unless there's any more questions, that'll end today's webinar.
No more questions.
Okay. See you next time.
Bye.